What's good, YouTube? Stormy B-Man, and I'm back with another Stormy B-Man's brief. This time, focusing on you can run, but you can't hide in boxing. We recently saw two fighters on the come up in the super featherweight division. We saw Oscar Valdez come up with a scintillating victory over Miguel Berchelt, and just this past Saturday, October 23rd, we saw Shakur Stevenson dethrone long-reigning Jamel Herring. Now, this is the thing about the sport of boxing. When you have two fighters that are supposed to be of class, you'd like to see them eventually face one another before too much time passes, before the fight loses its luster, or something tragic happens that will derail the fight totally. We've seen it time and time again. But I want to say this about what I noticed with Shakur's victory this past Saturday. After defeating Jamel Herring in great fashion, where he totally outboxed Herring, stopping him with a TKO, and I think it was the 10th round. This is the thing. When you see fighters like Shakur with the talent that he has, it can't miss, can't be denied. Now, Valdez had a great knockout over Berchelt, but recently tested positive for banned substance in the sport of boxing. He still made certain that he stayed away from Shakur Stevenson when Shakur first called him out at featherweight. Now, the two men are at super featherweight, and they both hold titles. This is the type of unification that we would like to see in the sport of boxing, but I don't think we're going to see this. Immediately after his victory over Jamel Herring, ESPN cut the broadcast off and told people if they wanted to catch the post-fight stuff that they would have to go over to their app. Now, a lot of people don't fool with the app, okay? So we didn't get a chance to hear Shakur live on the air across America say what he wanted to say about what his plans would be moving forward. Now, we've seen these type of things happen where the powers that be like to control the narrative of things. Thereby, if you don't show him making statements, then it doesn't exist. It's not real, okay? And that limits the fighter's promotion of himself and the promotion of a fight to look forward to in the future. This is something that was done on purpose and by design. We've seen Valdez get post-fight interviews. We've seen Vasily Lomachenko give post-fight interviews. We've seen Navarrete give post-fight interviews. These lighter weight fighters, the channel and network gives these guys their airtime. They didn't give it to Shakur. So this is another case of what we're talking about, them trying to control the narrative, who people should support, who they shouldn't support. There needs to be an outcry over this type of picking and choosing, and also the unjust, not level playing field that they have in the sport when it comes to fighters of color. You cannot deny that that's what it is. And this is something that we have to call out of the networks. We have to call out of the promotions, because they're doing this and they're putting it right in the fans' face. People who love the sport of boxing, they don't care who the individuals are. They want to see the best fight the best. And when you take that off the table, you can pretend like there's no cry for it. But that's not the truth. The thing is that if you don't give the person the microphone where he can speak, then how can he promote himself when you're giving it to other people? It's just not right. And it stinks in the sport of boxing. It needs to be cleaned up. People need to make an outcry over it, and we'll continue to talk about these things and expose it, because the powers that be are trying to manipulate the sport because they do not want certain fighters to get their shine or their legacy. Those are my thoughts on this brief. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the LDBC. Until the next time we speak, peace to everyone out there, and everyone, please remain safe.